song for a movie podcast. Some are pretty good, but we'll just suck ass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch with us, we're Cinema Buns. Let's go!
Hello and welcome to Cinema Buns. I'm Ritter.
I'm also Ritter.
That's Alien for Kevin. And
No,
yeah,
that's Alien for Ritter.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because we're all copies of Ritter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Every narcissist's dream. Let's all get naked. No, we are talking about the the brand new Hulu original movie, No One Will Save You.
Because Disney doesn't like all of the movies that 20th Century Fox makes. And
Yeah.
they don't want to put them all on their like streaming platform. So every once in a while, it's like, you guys can make this movie. I don't want it on Disney Plus though. You guys
It can't be associated with Disney.
You guys can put it on Hulu. Yeah, you're fine. I mean, like that's why they didn't want the new Predator sequel out on Disney Plus or this movie, and it's like, nah, Hulu can have it.
Well, we'll put it on Hulu. That's technically not Disney. From those that don't know, but it is Disney. For those that do know. I guess so. This is a movie that is starring Caitlin Dever. She is from Booksmart, Ticket to Paradise, Last Man Standing, Dope Sick, and
Yeah, I can't see her in anything other than being like a high school daughter of
someone. Yeah,
But this is kind of like her first big kind of leading role type deal.
she was a lead in Booksmart,
Yeah, I know, but
but like solo lead.
well, yeah, no, she was the main character of it, but she was also like the daughter of John Cena, I think.
What?
You're thinking of Cock Blockers.
Never mind.
What?
Booksmart is the one of the two like straight A girls.
Yeah.
Hold
It's
on. What?
Do you know about the movie Cock Blockers?
Well, actually, no. It's real. It's a renamed name. It's just Blockers, but the original name is Cock Blockers.
That's funny.
It's about high school girls wanting to lose their virginity before college,
Uh-huh.
and the parents
And one of the girls' dad is John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
and I think the movie is mostly around the parents because they're the main characters. To try to stop them. Ike Barinholtz is in it also.
Yeah, Booksmart is the opposite, where the kids are the main characters, but it's these two straight A girls that are like, "Ugh, all she does is suck hot cocks all day. She's not gonna get into, and the girl that they were like kind of
Making fun of.
brushing off as an idiot and like a popular like preppy girl. She's like, yeah, where are you going to college? And they're like, Yale. She's like, yeah, I got into Yale too. But your grades? She's like, bitch, I have straight A's just like you do.
Yeah.
I just also party. And then these girls are like pissed because they're like, we could have been living life, but
Yeah.
we didn't. So then all of a sudden, like for the last week of their high school lives, they're just like going buck wild.
Nice.
No, yeah. So Mike, what's this movie about? Without spoilers.
Without spoilers, I mean, you guys kind of told me what the movie was about.
Yeah, but I want to hear it from you.
I mean,
It's fine to say
because what's in the trailers?
Well, just the
Because
trailer.
I don't know what spoilers mean. Because I don't know what you go in with the movie with.
Just, I guess,
'Cause
home invasion, but aliens.
No.
Okay. Well, then there you said it. Because that's what I was gonna say. But you said no spoilers. I was like, so don't say the alien part. So like,
No, that was clear in the trailer.
I didn't see the trailers. I had no
Well,
idea
you
what
should have
the-
watched the trailer. I put it in the Discord.
Yeah, but I like going in blind.
Fair.
So yeah, Southern Louisiana woman, small town girl, gets home invaded by aliens, and then shenanigans.
not the
ensues.
sexy kind.
Yeah.
Not the smexy kind.
I don't
this
know.
isn't.
There are some parts in the movie say otherwise.
This isn't. What's that Guillermo del Toro water movie?
Shape of Water.
Yeah, it's not no Shape of Water scenario.
Oh, okay. Where she falls in love with the alien.
I feel
Yeah.
it's a Shape of Water scenario because no one fucking talks in this movie.
Yes.
Which is very interesting.
You know what? Non-spoiler, but the way it ends, maybe.
Yeah, this we'll get to the ending later, but
So
this movie is a fucking
Technically?
yeah,
Trek.
right?
This movie is an assault of the mind.
Both
In-
literally and figuratively.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is one of those movies that kind of like really translates well. Well, I mentioned this like while we were watching that like a non-English speaking person could watch this movie fine because
Yeah.
it has like, you know, people like say interjections and like exclamatory dialogue and reactions and noises and shit, but no one has any like meaningful like lines of dialogue.
There's
And
only
together.
one line in the whole movie.
And also the interjections are like mixed in a way to where unless you
It's
have
supposed to be
subtitles
muted.
on, you're going to
Yeah.
barely be able to hear
It's also like pretty muted because it's like background characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, there's only one actual line in the whole movie.
Yeah. So it's
Like, in
only
reality.
it's a single line of dialogue they have to translate into infinite languages,
Yeah.
which is super easy.
And like there is a just like one scene in particular where I was like, how do you get through this without saying anything?
And then we saw it and we're like, I guess that's
And
the
I was
way.
like, oh shit, no, please not like that. But yeah, so our main character Bryn Adams is put into kind of like a scenario where she's living alone on a big southern plantation type house. It's a pretty big house.
Yeah.
So
it's a
she has her
abs-
own. She has a lake.
It has it's an absolute vibe. It's like, you know, every
Very cottage core.
yeah,
you know?
yeah. She's made.
By the way, I figured out what she does.
She sells clothing.
Yes,
Yeah.
because at the beginning of the movie you see her making custom clothes
and she's milling it out.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's living out in the Louisiana wilderness in a big house, no neighbors. She's got, you know, like fairy lights and makes tea and reads books by the
She has
firelight.
her own 40K terrain of the town.
She makes small town models in her basement.
We should say it's all. It makes sense that she owns this house because it was previously her mother's
Family's,
house.
yeah.
Family's house.
Yeah.
So she was. She inherited the house.
Yeah,
she didn't buy the house.
This is not a situation where it's the HGTV show of I do competitive butterfly catching and I like to weave baskets in my spare time. How often do you work? About 3 hours a week. And what's your budget for a house remodel? About $2.6 million.
Yeah, it's not one of those situations.
Yeah.
Because we were all wondering that throughout the movie of like, how does she afford this?
Because she's at least a millennial, which means she can't afford to buy this.
Well,
on her own.
if she's the same age as her best friend, she was born in 2000.
yeah,
Yeah.
And like I said, I can hardly see this actress like in anything other than like a high school girl.
yeah,
So her being like an adult is kind of like a breath of fresh air and like interesting.
Yeah.
So she's like she kind of lives
You
in
know what's
isolation.
funny? What's funny is her character's like birth is 2000. If we're assuming they're the same age,
Yeah.
her actual age is 26. So it's only a 3-year difference
Yeah.
between her character age and real age, which is funny.
And like whenever she like visits town, everyone like shuns her.
Yeah.
She's like socially isolated.
Yeah,
And she's also like kind of like has anxiety
Talking to others.
talking to people, and like also like people stop talking when she's near.
yeah.
No,
And-
they talk. They talk. They just talk
well,
about her and look away.
in the graveyard, because she's visiting the grave of her like mom.
Yeah.
And when she hears people talking as she walks by them, you hear them going shh shh shh, and they like stop talking while she walks by, and then they continue when she leaves.
So
well,
like
you could see like there's people looking at her as they talk behind her back.
Yeah.
yeah, and also like, you know, she would wave to people and they would like
Like,
shoulder
ignore
off.
Ignore.
So the first a good portion of like the first half of the movie, you're like kind of struck with like what is going on our main heroine here, and like why is everyone
What's happening?
yeah.
Because you could like argue like why doesn't she leave, but then you also like she only sells clothes
Yeah.
and probably doesn't have enough to leave the town also.
But she also seems pretty content with where she is too, because there's a scene where she's dancing, she's drinking wine, she's doing her little like model stuff. The phone rings.
She's
and
also doing like depression journaling.
yeah.
Yes.
So
And then she like the phone rings, and Mike was like, "Wouldn't it be funny if the phone was just dusty because no one used it?" And we're like, "Yeah." And then she picks up the phone and hangs it up immediately, and we're like, "Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay, hold on."
no, because like that was also a scenario where it's like, okay, you're gonna have your first line of dialogue with, okay, no,
Yeah.
just picks up the phone and hang it up. And did you guys like? I don't think anyone saw Where the Crawdads Sing, right?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
Was it your like wife wanted to watch
No.
it? Oh, you were just like curious about like.
I was like, why is everyone talking about this movie?
I don't think anyone was talking about this movie.
Maybe people online were, but I was just like,
I
what?
wanted the new Taylor Swift track. That's why I went in.
I was like, what is this? I watched it. I'm like, this is garbage.
Yeah, no, it kind of reminded me of that because like I also saw that movie.
Yeah.
Because like in that movie, it's like a bayou girl, and the rest of the town rejects her because
Just a city boy.
just because like literally just because she lives out in the bayou, and it
Yeah.
wasn't until like a boy gets murdered that then they turn their like.
that they give a
small-
shit who she is.
Yeah, and it's like that kind of mentality where we were talking about this like while we were the first
Watching.
half of the movie. It's
Yeah.
like small town people like gossip so much that if one person is like
Weird.
shunned or even rumored to have done something like reprehensible,
Might as well be true.
might as well be true, and like the
Yeah.
entire town just goes behind it and like fucking ostracizes them.
Yeah, this definitely like gives like small town like a bad name.
I mean,
I
like-
will say like one funny observation. It's true for like the small town white people because like all the black people I saw
they
were
waved.
they would wave and say hi
She
to
would
her.
ignore, and then
I'm assuming they're actually like people who were living in that town and they were just in the background while the camera was like rolling because they didn't seem like actors or maybe
Yeah.
they were. I think 20th Century Fox would have the budget to like completely hire all extras rather than.
oh yeah, because she
dickheaded.
was like walking past this,
'Cause she's
this
walking
black
to the-
family.
She's walking to the cops and the
so she's walking to the cops, and like everyone else doesn't give a shit, but the like black family is like, "You okay?"
or just like just random people out in the background were looking at her and like actually like waving and shit.
So
Yeah, no,
before
Yeah,
we start getting into kind of more of like details of the actual movie, how do we?
well we talked about a little bit like what the premise of the movie is, right? Home
Yeah.
invasion with aliens.
yeah.
How? Well,
When did the plot actually start?
okay, plot started
15 minutes. in.
second one. I am. This is so funny because like we've watched a lot of movies where like, cool, we're 45 minutes in and the plot just now started. That's cool and shit. But like as
think-
soon as the opening stops, we're already in plot. It's like because at one point when the first alien shows up, I pause the movie. I'm like, we are not even 10 minutes in and we get our first alien. This is great.
I thought it was like 15 minutes or something like that.
No, well, that was after the alien had already been seen for a bit.
Oh, okay.
I just kind of was
When
like,
it was on screen, it was at 15 minutes, and then but like the invasion starts in like 10.
yeah,
Um,
which is like,
and also that it so the trailer pretty much only has clips of the first 20 minutes of the movie.
yes,
So you're
which is
ki-
cool. I
Yeah.
like that.
No, that's great. So like, what you are left with is that it's a first encounter, and it's just done because
Yeah.
like it's done pretty quickly, and then they have that first encounter has a resolution, and then we go on to day 2.
Yeah.
So this entire movie takes place within
3
I
days.
less than 3.
Maybe 2, yeah.
I would say probably within 40 hours. from beginning of movie to end of movie, I would say the entire movie takes place within 40 hours.
Yeah, that's probably well.
Probably less, but
Probably less, yeah.
I'm trying to give it an extra space.
Yeah, because she has like first night,
Yeah.
goes to the cops in the morning, goes home,
and then
and
the
then second
rest of the
encounter.
movie.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, within probably closer to 24 hours is the total amount of time that transpires in this movie. But how do you guys feel it did with trying to keep dialogue to almost nothing?
I thought it was fine. I mean, the movie explained everything pretty well with everything else going on. The gripe I only had was just some of the ending stuff, maybe.
We will get to that.
Yeah.
Because that's something I wanted to bring up too. But
I think it conveyed it well enough.
there was enough visual cues and visual information given, and all the actors did pretty well. Like, I feel like they visually conveyed their feelings and stuff in a way that you could pick up on fairly easily.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, why no dialogue?
I mean, it's definitely a choice, and I just got reminded that it reminds me of the first like 3 Lego Star Wars movies. Or Star Wars
Yeah.
video games.
Yeah.
Where since Star Wars video games at the time didn't have dialogue, they would just go with
Yeah, social, and just like cues and stuff. Yeah,
and try to explain lines using like visual gags, like showing a picture of Padme.
Yeah.
It's like, that's me.
Yeah,
I'm
the
your
Lego
dad."
video games progress from like to just actual stolen audio from the movie.
And also recreated like voice actors doing lines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
impressions.
now they're like fully voiced, and they do a mixture of like audio from the movies, but
Yeah.
they also bring some actors in to like redo some lines.
Or they just have like someone else do it.
Yeah.
They have just like impressionists or whatever. But I really like the way they do it because they take serious dialogue and put in a punchline.
Yeah,
But like good punchlines, not like just fucking make a bad
fart
joke.
noise.
Yeah.
Joke in like in the middle of a serious moment, which is pretty great for like the sequel trilogy for Star Wars. Some of theirs, the way they've interpreted like sequel trilogy scenes has always been like fantastic. But yeah, so it's definitely a choice for this movie to not have dialogue. It was like a little bit distracting at some points because, like I said earlier, it was like there's no way you don't talk through this.
Yeah.
Like, and everyone like consciously doesn't say anything. Like, you can kind of like say that it's like, oh, at this scene it would be too awkward to say anything, but it's like even random words like "ah shit" or "oh no,"
Yeah,
"ah fuck."
something.
But it tries to balance that out with like some cinematic visual language.
Yeah,
But it's like, pretty basic stuff. So you have like her looking longingly at emotional memorabilia. The easiest one to kind of like do is just write letters to yourself.
Yeah.
Or like write down text rather than say it. So she's writing down like letters
yeah,
and mailing them out and shit and hanging them and and from like all of the visual information that it gives, you can kind of piece together like where we are in the story, who she is and like what she's done. And it on the one hand it's like interesting. I think it does a pretty good job, but it is like kind of like basic. The way it goes about it is like pretty basic.
I would agree.
There's a sentiment about horror movies nowadays where people are tired of like having a protagonist that's going through grief.
Yeah,
Can we have a good horror movie where like
it's a totally normal
where
like
the protagonist doesn't have like a dead parent that they're trying to get over, and it's through this horror experience that they're able to come to terms with their guilt or
Right.
their sadness or whatever. Because like we were talking about like Talk to Me, and it's like a dead mom situation, and like
Yeah.
I want to see my dead mom. This is like a dead best friend situation. Like I want to see my dead best friend. And yeah, no, it's like, yeah, it's a little bit cliched,
Yeah.
but I do find that like these are the most like interesting horror movies that I actually like give a shit about is, because otherwise like a lot of horror movies
Because they use that.
are pretty like
Because most
put
horror
together.
movies use that in order to build the character out and actually give the character an arc. Because, like, yeah, you can make a horror movie where it's just a fucking slasher and you're not building a character arc. You're building a roster of teens to die, and the audience is trying to figure out who's going to live or how they're going to figure out how to get out of it.
Or who's the killer?
Yeah. So.
Because like this is if we like kind of just like, because that sounds like the first Evil Dead.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of kids in a cabin. If Evil Dead, oh, not Evil Dead. If a bunch of cabin in the woods type story happens again, like if there's another movie where teens go in a cabin, we would have the main character either like have some trauma of a dead parent, or they are trying to get over some like big traumatic experience in their life, and then it is through fighting back against the cabin slasher that they figure out how to forgive themselves.
You know, I want a horror movie similar to Tucker and Dale Against All Evil.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I want it to be just a group of people, perfectly normal, perfectly like just
Happy.
average people, happy, that they're legitimately going about their vacation, and because they're perfectly like average people, they're just ignoring every sign and every instance of supernatural or like horror elements, and just because they're not aware of it, or they're just like, it's nothing, they just happen to survive the whole time.
Right.
And the actual main character is like the monster or the killer going, how have I not killed these fucking kids yet? But for this movie, I mean, it's shown in the trailer, it's obviously aliens. The alien designs are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I was there's only one design that I was kind of like, that's a little hokey, but all the other designs are pretty decent.
I would say that because like they're just grays.
Yeah.
They're graliens, and which is like not the most interesting thing. So I don't like share your sentiment that they're like
The interesting
designs?
the interesting part to me was showing the like stratification of different types of grays.
yeah.
Because there are different like versions of the grays that exist for different jobs. Granted, we don't exactly know specifically what jobs some of them have, but it was just kind of interesting. It's something,
Mhm.
but
But like yeah, it's also a little bit surprising because we were surprised at the early part of the movie when we got aliens in the first 15 minutes, that we were also seeing them pretty like brightly lit.
yes,
So it wasn't like in less competent movies, like they were just like hidden in the background or even look like shit in the first place. The aliens look great, or like the effects for them like look good. But we kind of also like throughout the movie and like through the interactions with the aliens, I think like one of the best strengths this movie has is kind of how it world builds. Or
yeah.
not world builds, but like it's able it was
It
like,
disseminates the information of the aliens.
like kind of pretty well.
Yeah.
Subtly without dialogue.
Yeah.
It because it never beats you over the head about like how something is working, what is working and stuff. It just happens and you put it together yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is cool. I like that. But
Which is different from Bryn's backstory where it's like
spoon
shown
fed to you.
It's spoon fed for you. The aliens like backstory is just kind of like you see and you don't you're not told.
Yeah, you know as much as the main character does, and nothing is like told to you. It's either you pick it up or you don't.
But something that this movie does that it was a critique we had about Death on the Nile is that it shows you everything. It's just you can figure it out if you think about it. Because I know an issue I had with Death on the Nile is like a murder mystery is you're also trying to figure out who the killer is. But when
you're not given any information.
But when the movie purposely hides evidence from you and makes it to where like you literally don't see something that was important, it's like, okay, cool. What was the point of me watching this then?
Yeah.
Just show me the murder and show me who killed him. I don't get the fun of trying to figure it out too. But in this movie,
because you weren't given the clues.
Yeah.
Exactly. But in this movie, because throughout the entire movie, whenever the aliens were on screen or we got shown new information, the three of us were like, okay, hold on. Are they doing that because of this? Are they like, are they this? How is this working? Like, why?
And then we're like figuring out like the aliens' motivations just like through their actions.
Yeah.
And like this was all great. And fantastic up until like probably towards the end.
Yeah, at the end
Yeah.
is
Where
where
we like lose the thread.
So without going into details yet, we'll cover the ending. We'll cover
just say-
like our issues with the ending,
Let's
or
just give
should
our
I say
thoughts-
endings?
we should probably just give our thoughts about if they should go see this movie or not.
Listen, if you already have a Hulu subscription, it's a fun watch. I wouldn't say make time out of your day like, okay, I need to watch that today or whatever. If you're bored, you don't know what to do, it's fun to watch. I didn't feel like I wasted my time watching it, but it is a flawed movie.
Out of 10, what would you give it? I can tell you what I think.
I would say probably a 5. I would say it's
Ooh, this is a 5?
I was gonna give it a 6, but yeah, I can see it.
I am saying 5 because it is average. It is a fun movie, but just the way it does certain things is not my favorite, and we'll go into those into the spoiler section. But again, like I said, I didn't feel like I wasted my time watching it. But this is a perfectly like average movie that like it's a popcorn flick. Hey, you want to watch something like fun, kind of interesting? Sure, let's put this on. Okay, get the popcorn. That's how I view it.
Yeah, I would give it maybe a 5.5 then, because it is different. Is why I was giving it the extra point. It is different, but it's not like, man, I need to see this movie again or anything like that.
I mean, like the interesting part of this is that it was aliens, because otherwise, like, I wouldn't give a horror movie the time of day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it would be like a 6 or 6.5 out of 10 if we're like doing ratings.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's leave it at a 6 then. Overall,
All right.
average score.
All
No
right.
one will save you gets a 10 out of 10 from Cinema Buns. Quote that. Put that on the newspaper.
Put it on the
God.
poster. We know you're going to.
We're gonna put it on our Twitter.
Brian.
All right. Spoilers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Aliens.
Man, this chick is a sociopath. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So, okay. So one of the big like mysteries and like revelations in the movie is that as it goes on, you know something happened between her and her BFF Maud from when she was younger. You find out that Maud is dead, and then you find out that the parents like hate her.
And
The Maud's parents hate her.
you can pick up that she has something to do with her death.
Yeah.
But you're not entirely sure if it was like intentional
So-
or if it was like she just happens to
You
be
can
there.
well like up until they actually showed her like killing her, you can just safely assume that she's the cause of her death somehow.
but
But that's what I'm
like,
saying. Like it could be like maybe they just both went into the woods and then she
That's-
got
but,
hurt or
like-
something like that.
But like having it because they have an argument and then she sees a rock and then slaps her over the head with a rock
Jesus
with it
Christ.
is like that is kind of a letdown, but sure, okay.
and it
You know, boys be boys, girls be girls.
It recontextualizes the character so much because throughout the movie, you're sympathetic. You're like, oh my god, can you imagine like just what? Oh my god, I feel bad for her and stuff. But then when you see that, it's like, wait, hold on, wait, she like deserves all of this.
I think
I mean, no, she feels bad. She has
Okay.
a lot of guilt
no, she
for
suffered
it.
guilt for like
Yeah.
10 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Like-
as a quote from Mike, she got that killer grip on the rock when she hit her friend.
Yeah, no,
with
she
it.
has that killer instinct. I was like, God dang.
So,
Because you know boxing, right? She went from the ground up towards an uppercut. So she had the full.
Now hold on.
She held the rock.
No.
I was like, oh, she like gripping it properly.
And here's another thing: she didn't uppercut.
Yeah, she
stood. She like went from sitting to standing, so she had time to change her mind. But she went full arm out swing into the side of her fucking head.
Yeah, pulled her entire body into it, like power from the feet up, twist the body,
right,
hips.
And
arm rotation, hand rotation.
She had that rotational force behind it.
Damn, because the way she was holding the rock too, right?
Yeah,
was she grabbed it, but she grabbed it in a way to give her the most leverage to do the maximum amount of damage with that rock.
Yeah,
because it wasn't like you grabbed a rock with like gorilla grip and then you smacked her with it. It was like she held it with like one finger to properly like control the angle of when she's gonna shear that rock, that stone across her head.
Like, okay, she feels bad about it. Would you forgive John Wayne Gacy if he felt bad about eating all those bodies? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Well,
it was an accident.
He wasn't actually sorry. Well, he wasn't really sorry.
Okay, Mike, I'm putting this into perspective. Like, yeah, she feels bad about killing her friend, but she killed her friend.
Oh, absolutely. But like, what I'm saying is like,
it was also kind of like heat of a moment.
It was like heat of the moment,
and it's also
I'm not forgiving her actions. But like, what I'm saying is like,
and I will say, yeah, heat of the moment. You do stuff you regret, whatever. I don't know. I've never been in the heat of the moment enough to grab a nearby blunt object and explicitly swing for the brain.
No, she is a sociopath for sure.
Okay, so to give the audience some context why I'm harping on this so hard, the ending.
Yeah.
So let's go into something that Mike and I had a gripe with the endings. This has Peter Jackson syndrome, where Return of the King had like 3 different endings because Peter Jackson's like, I don't want to end it yet. There's some more I can do. Okay, I don't want to end it here yet.
Yeah.
And now, granted,
I will say one of the endings was pretty based.
Yes,
one of them was pretty based. I that one was cool.
This movie has like 5 endings back to back.
I would say 4, right, Kevin? 4, maybe, because let's see, there's the one where
anytime she gets knocked out and wakes up.
Yeah. Because, like, so throughout the movie, you're kind of shown that these people get controlled when the aliens, like, throw up this, like, tentacle egg.
Yeah.
And it goes into their throat, and it just controls them from there.
Yeah, because you can see it in their throat, and, like, we kind of just surmised that from seeing that. It's, like, because there's several forms of aliens that are coming out, that the aliens aren't actually the big grays. It's the giant, like...
The eggs
that are in their throats, and so they're kind of like.
But the thing is
a parasitic race.
I don't think that's it either, because the telekinetic gray that threw up the egg was still alive after it went into her throat.
No, but I can assume that there's 2 of them in that body.
Yeah.
So that they could infect.
There's like
Bryn.
a carrier and then the egg.
Yeah.
Or it's like I'm hitching a ride so that when we see Bryn, I can get up in them guts.
I'm hitching on your Jaeger, and then just throw me on my my
and then
Jaeger
the based ending of where she shows
she gets infected with a thing, right? Or she gets
infected.
She gets Jaeger,
and she gets a dream sequence where you see like adult Maud come over, and she's like, and the only line of dialogue is, "I'm sorry, Maud," as she reaches into her own throat. And pulls it out and crushes it.
Well, she tries to crush it.
She tries to crush it. But
Which is also, first, a little bit weird that she does it in her dream, but she has the wherewithal to, in the real world, do this. She has the willpower to do it also.
Yeah.
With her real body.
I think the fact that she's aware, she wasn't fully in control yet. Like, the moment when she's like, I need to do this because it's in my throat still, I think is the moment when she, like, is able to take temporary control back of that one arm, maybe. Yeah. And then pull it out.
I see it more because like she hasn't fully like succumbed to the illusion, so she's in like that a transitionary period where like if I don't do it now, I'm gone.
And it kind of gives you an idea of like how these aliens are controlling these people. too, because like now you get to see like the other side of it, where like
Exactly.
oh, they're put into a dream sequence while they're being controlled.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also like she has access to the alien in her throat. It's not deeper in her body.
Yeah, that I did think was a little weird, but I mean, like, hey, biology's weird. You never know.
I mean, like you
I
know,
can
it's like
control your
it's-
body through your esophagus.
Yeah, I mean, I again, I'm not trying to justify it, but like the best way I can think about it probably is like it's the closest point to where like your brain stem is.
Is it?
Kind
I mean,
of.
If
yeah,
it,
yeah,
I
it
could
is.
see
There's,
that.
if it's
Yeah.
sitting in your Adam's apple and then has to wrap around your entire neck to get to the back of your head,
Yeah.
is that
I
what you're
could-
saying?
Yeah, like no, maybe it doesn't wrap around.
No, because
but
the
maybe
I get-
easiest
it
is
just
if
maybe it's like
actually
the
gets to the base of your
safest
skull.
spot and the closest spot it has to be in order to reach your.
Maybe it's
brainstem.
just too soft and it can't like break through like layers of muscle and
Yeah.
shit to get
because
to the brain.
because it's obviously still like has some level of like
This-
psychonic abilities. So it just needs to be as close as possible to the host. It's like
It's on Bluetooth.
yeah, maybe like I said, like that's the best way I can think about it. Is
It's synchronizing with your brain.
yeah, like
pairing mode.
it's like the closest point of like contact it needs to be, with it also being protected by the Jaeger.
by your mouth.
But okay, and the true sociopath ending. So
well, no, there's another ending.
Well, you have
after
to-
that too.
oh,
She
yeah,
ends
okay,
up-
well, yeah. So she pulls it out. She
tries to crush it.
She goes and then like the ship puts a beam over the egg, and it like generates a physical copy of Bryn,
and
Yeah.
chases her down.
and it chases
so
her down.
yeah, so we were then led to assume that like, okay, so maybe they're actually grabbing people and replacing them with copies to
and the copies
hang out.
just suck at.
yeah, because like you see humans chasing after her in addition to Greys.
yeah.
And that's because they have like aliens in their throats. But we like realized that no, she's just different. She was the only one that they had to make a clone of. Everyone else is in their original body. The aliens are still using their original body, but they had to clone her.
Yeah.
And then also then yes, so
Because she's different for some reason.
for some reason, and then she
so-
gets stabbed.
So
and
ending
murked.
ending 2, copy her stabs her, but then she stabs copy her.
She does counter move,
Well, no, she
killer
cuts her,
instinct
she
mode.
slits her throat.
Yeah, she slits
Yeah.
her throat. And you know, it was seen like early in the film that she has this box cutter still.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't like out there, but I just completely forgot that she had it.
So that happens, and then you kind of see that
She lays
the
on
the world's getting fucked. The entire area around her, there are a
Ships.
bunch of ships and shit, and then she gets to the street, and you see big alien, the big like Slender Man alien,
Yeah.
who's just the air traffic controller of the disc
Yeah.
ships, because he's doing crazy ass like Vogue poses, and then that's where the ships like come down and know what to do, and then she gets abducted up.
And that's
so that's
ending
ending
three.
3.
Yeah.
And then ending 4 is
they
her.
getting brain touched.
Yeah, they touch her brain and go through her memories. She wakes up and she's like horizontal to the ground.
Well, like ending 3, you assume is like she's just now stuck in her memories.
Yeah.
And she's just like stuck accepting her fate as whatever this is. But then it goes like
yeah, and then and then as Kevin said, the butthole in the sky
yeah.
responds to the telekinetic aliens just talking, and then they go okay, and they send her back.
Just saying, aliens had the first dialogue in this movie. Just
I
patent that.
Mike
Patent
was
that.
hard on this
Yes, I
during
was.
this movie.
Because I was making an off joke, being like, "Watch the aliens have the first dialogue of this movie."
Watch them have the only dialogue in the
Yeah.
no.
And then, so she gets dropped back down, and she starts seeing these colorful lights play out in the sky, and then it cuts to black.
And you
And
think
then
that's
the-
ending 4?
Yeah, and then ending 5 is she's back at her house. She's like in a new outfit. She puts up this birdhouse at like a house that was ransacked by the aliens, and she waves at the people, and we're like, "Oh, are they like good now?"
But
and
then they all wait.
and then they all have the parasite in the throat. We're like, wait, hold on. And she goes into town and she's having a little dance party with all the like parasitic like
Alien.
people, and you see all the alien discs flying around, and we're like, why is she special? Why do they allow her to keep her autonomy? Why is she so okay with just like, oh, cool, I have friends now with these alien parasite people? yeah, let's have a dance party. And it's like, holy fuck. She's just okay with this. This is just...
technically her life is better now than it was.
Okay, but that doesn't...
Yeah, but
mean
it's
it's
and
okay.
we established that she's a sociopath.
like
I'm not
like the big problem we have is that like what made the magic butthole decide
what
that she was special?
Yeah,
Yeah, what... And like...
because that is still my problem. Why?
So here's my headcanon, is that psychopaths have specific brain chemistry that makes them resistant to the like delirious and takeover effects of the parasites. So the aliens communicated to her, hey, are you going to be chill? And she basically said, yeah. And they're like, cool, we'll give you this town.
A Lamau.
Just, yeah, just fucking chill and you get this. And she was okay with it.
Yeah.
Which, like, again, puts me into, like, it completely recontextualizes the main character from being someone who's sympathetic to, oh my god, you're a psycho. What the fuck?
I mean, she's kind of put in a position where, like, what else is she gonna do at this point?
Go anywhere else.
Well, I think a more sympathetic person, like someone that you can get behind, would just hole up in their house.
Yeah.
And not party up with the other aliens.
Yeah, that's true too.
Instead, she's like
Living life.
happily living her life.
Yeah.
With a completely taken over town by aliens. And we still don't know what the motivation.
We have no idea what
the aliens are.
We're
like,
assuming it's conquest.
Yeah.
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, because like at first I was like, it's observational. The aliens are taking humans up, taking their memories and just seeing how life is like on Earth.
Because what we were fascinated by was because there's like a little gremlin alien, there's the Slender Man alien, and then there's the like
the psychic one.
The psychic one, which we're saying is like the leadership cast, kind of outside of the butthole.
He's the team leader for
And-
that squad.
Yeah.
That incompetent squad that they sent down
Oh my
to take
god,
down
I was
this
about
woman.
to say all the aliens in this movie are so dorky and incompetent. Like they're just like they're strong, but they're just hamming it up every time they're on screen.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
mean,
what the fuck are we doing?
They're just a bunch of drones.
But no,
The leader.
yeah, the psychic ones. Every single time there was like photographs or something to like look or study at to better understand Bryn or like the other humans, they were like more interested in that than they were anything else. So like
Just to learn about her, yeah.
there's one pretty alpha alien scene where it's looking at like photos of Bryn and Maud, and Bryn's like, okay, I'm gonna go stab him in the back, and he twitches his fingers and she gets sent through a wall.
Doesn't even look at her. He's
Doesn't-
still just looking at the photos and is like, nah.
He's just like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Still jacking off to pictures of 12-year-olds.
Because like he's like kind of like messing with her in a sense too. Because
that's
there's
what
a
we thought.
basement scene where like he just like walks down casually,
And he
then,
does the
like,
cat. He does the street cat thing where you come up to a street cat and then you crouch down and go like. Pss, 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 pss.
But his is
Yeah, he crouches down and then
Yeah.
he's like,
because he doesn't see her as a threat at all. He's just like, hey.
And then something that I noticed, and that this kind of goes into my headcanon of maybe psychopaths have a slightly different like brain chemistry, which is why they're allowing her, because the head alien guy, he had kind of his arms in this like V formation while he was sitting there just kind of looking at her and like doing stuff. And then the gremlin one, once she like there's this tractor beam thing, but once she got into this hallway and he was right in front of her, he did this very specific symbol with his arms and just stood looking at her. And like at one point she even looks behind her to see if there's like another one behind her, and no, and I'm like, and in my head I'm like, this is a salute. This is like, but then like as she gets into the other room, like something's like the alien like snaps out of whatever he's doing and then goes back to, I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, like when she goes in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Dude, it was so, like, the way the alien moved like a monkey, like a silent monkey.
Oh, yeah.
Just kinda
Because
like,
as soon as, like, she's closing the door, he's like, okay, I'm done with this. Time to get you.
yeah, and then he like tries to bust through the door.
And when he opens the door, it's just but
I'm under the impression that that had no reason.
That there was nothing.
Like he stopped in that hallway for no reason.
Yeah.
But then so I'm putting my headcanon there just to give a reason for that, because if that's not what the writing was intending to like focus it towards, then why the fuck did he just stop? I don't get it. And also the big Slender Man alien was crawling off of the roof to go after her, and then fucking tripped and fell and went, and then got up and went after her.
Got stuck in the
It's like,
car
what the
and
fuck
then
is
lit
happening?
Up. Yeah.
No, that's where like some of the movie just like it loses points for me, because I'm like, you're having things happen, and I don't understand why they're happening.
Yeah.
There's nothing to give me any context here or any reason. And these aliens are so dorky.
So, for some reason, I'm reminded of how we took down Bin Laden. Okay, but like, no. Try to think of it this way. Pretend Bryn is Bin Laden.
All right. Okay.
SEAL Team 6, in full stealth gear and like complete cooperation with each other and communication.
They crashed a helicopter. Had to blow it up.
Yeah, whatever. They like where they can get into a house, completely clear it out, and they also have support outside, and then get to their target, capture their target, do it, and then like take care of it. 3 aliens trying to storm a house, unorganized, not communicating with each other, and tripping over their balls, and like dropping their spaghetti whenever Bryn gets nearby is like, and they're also a spacefaring civilization.
Yeah.
Like they should technically be better than us at this type of thing.
And like, and that goes into like us trying to figure out what their motivation is. Like, we landed on Conquest, but like, is this the first planet they're trying to take over? Because what the fuck is happening?
Because like I'm imagining that like if we were the aliens, like if we came into a civilized planet and for some reason we want to fuck a singular person up, we would have like a much more well-trained squad go in, surround, like cut them off, corner them, capture.
Here's the thing, though. I think it's wrong for us to approach it like humans. This is an alien race with their own sense of doing things.
But okay, that's fine.
And just because we think our way is better doesn't necessarily mean it works better for them.
Okay, maybe they're.
And I think that's.
But it hasn't worked better for them. She killed 3 of them.
Well, that's what I'm saying is we don't know what their plan of like actions are, or if
which
they have
again goes into the conversation. Is this the first planet they've tried to take over?
But what I'm also saying is like they are also a group of beings that have psychic abilities and things like that.
Well, we know
so we don't know
one cast of them does.
Yeah, so we don't really know like how they're organized. Like maybe this is just how they do things, and they're more like they do more solo.
The messiest way.
They just do whatever. Like we don't know. And I think it's wrong for us to approach it like a bunch of humans and saying like, no, this is the worst way to do things. It's like, well, maybe for them it's not. We don't know.
Yeah, but
like obviously it's still goofy, but like I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. Like we can't approach this thinking like humans.
No, I'm picking up what you're putting down, dog. But
now eat my hot dog.
Like I said, the endings are a little messy.
Mm-hmm.
It's also like this is a bad ending.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a fresh of breath air every once in a while when I get one of those, when we get the bad ending. So
but this is also like not a really well earned ending.
It isn't. It's it kind of just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, like that's my thing, right? If it could be a bad ending, but it needs to be an earned bad ending. This is like, did it really there's too many other things going on for me to think differently.
Yeah. If
it would have ended with her like being trapped on the ship or something like that, I could live with that. Sad ending, like she gets trapped on the ship, whatever.
This movie committed the sin of having us care about a protagonist until they made us stop caring about her.
Yeah. And I think the other aspect is that the ending did not come about because of choices she made.
I mean, she fought back, I guess.
She fought back, but the ending came about because the aliens just went, "Ayo, we'll give you this town."
Yeah, so this ending
which,
would have happened whether she liked it or not.
Yeah.
Because whether she fought or not, she would have gotten captured. Her sob story memory would have been shown on display, and they would have come to the...
The only difference would have been whether she kept her autonomy or not.
Yeah, that was it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm still going to stick with a 5.5. Maybe.
I mean, like, I feel like she still would have kept their autonomy. Because the final decision was them seeing the prominent memory that she had in her mind, and then, like, the space butthole making the judgment call.
Yeah.
But
we don't know why they made that judgment call.
Exactly!
Yeah, that's the main issue, I think.
It's crazy. But
it's like, we couldn't control her, so I guess we'll just leave her this town. Or, like, is it more like, she's just as crazy as we are, let's give her this town?
yeah.
Like, it's one of those options,
are
right?
they crazy, though, if you say that, like, she's just as crazy as us? I don't think they're crazy. I think they were just trying to do a job, and she kept fucking it up.
I mean, you just made fun of the aliens being derpy.
They are. That doesn't mean they're crazy. It
That
just
also means they make bad decisions.
You know what, Mike? You
Possibly.
can't
Right?
look at
Yeah,
them.
ooh, yeah.
You can't put them into the perspective of humans because you don't know what where
You're
they
right.
come from. You don't know their
Maybe in
culture.
their civilization,
This
making
is all
bad
okay.
decisions is
A
normal.
good normal, yeah. Who knows? Like,
Maybe the least,
Yeah, I
Maybe-
got him.
maybe
Yeah.
the least efficient route to do things is probably the best way.
it could be. I don't know.
But yeah, again, like kind of rehashing like
It
my-
left
Oh!
too many questions.
It did. One positive I will give the movie is it did not lean too heavily on a score.
Yeah.
I felt like there was enough like non-background noise to actually so there were some scenes where they had nothing playing in the background except like what was happening on screen to kind of give it that additional like flavor, I would say, which was pretty cool. But besides that, honestly, super average movie. Fun. Definitely didn't feel like I wasted my time, and like if you're down, this could be a fun Friday night with like your friends or with like your significant other, but it's not worth making time out to see it.
Yeah.
I still don't know what happened to like Bryn's parents.
I think they just passed away, or maybe they got distraught with guilt.
Or
and
maybe she
decided to
killed
leave.
them too.
Or maybe
She's
she
like-
killed them too. I don't know.
She's like 23. Her parents passed away to old age.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not
Hey,
judging.
shit happens, man.
Yeah.
There are 16-year-olds out there whose parents are dead.
Or maybe they were.
Yeah, but that's not the trauma of her.
Or
Like, she doesn't have trauma over that.
no.
I don't. She's a sociopath. Who knows?
Her trauma is the friend she murked with a sharp rock.
For all we know, her parents committed seppuku, whatever it is,
Yeah.
out of guilt
Commit
for
seppuku.
their child killing another being. I don't know.
No, watch as that's the real... That's...
Don't gaze in front of the Collins.
No, watch. That's the real story. The parents went, "We're gonna give you this house. Don't ever contact us again," and they leave.
Yeah, I'm saying there's various options for that, but
Was this movie scary?
No,
not really.
that's why I said it was fun. Because like,
Which is why also like this is like the most interesting part of this
Like,
movie. to me.
unfortunately, it has for me it had a dissatisfying ending. Unfortunately,
so I will say this:
But like as a horror movie, this wasn't like
this wasn't
Horrific.
This wasn't
No.
horror.
horror themed, yes,
this
But-
was a mystery movie.
yes.
This
This was a dance movie.
this was a philosophical
I mean,
question movie,
dude, I just want a meme of I just want a meme of the one fucking air traffic controller alien doing his hand signs but having Vogue play.
God. Yeah,
Vogue as he's doing his crazy symbols.
he has like those big like Beats headsets that's like playing music on the
Fucking
outside.
drip aliens. Let's go. Let's get the puffy. Have you guys Oh my god. Have you guys seen the photo of the Prophet from Halo in the white puffy jacket?
The Prophet of Truth with the
Yeah.
no.
What?
Prophet in puffy white jacket. It was shown on like Pay Money Wubby's stream. No, that's oh god.
Dude, Prophet
Dude,
drip
Halo.
dude.
Dude.
Okay, hold on.
Prophet
drip
Halo.
Halo.
Try that. You need to know.
Oh, there it is.
You need to know your vocabulary.
Look at
words.
this shit.
Damn.
This is okay this is a very visual bit for an audio podcast. No, yeah, it's just the Prophet of Truth from Halo in a puffy white jacket with some bling and
Also,
like earrings
mind you,
and shit.
Ritter didn't say anything. Like when he first searched this, he didn't even put Halo in the Google search.
I put Prophet and then I'm like, wait,
Real prophets
That's-
exist.
hold on a second. But yeah, I get any final words about the movie because I'm pretty much done.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, go get popcorn with this or chicken.
Yeah.
Eat some chicky tendies with this.
That's what Mike did.
That's what I did, and it helped me through the end at least.
Kevin.
Go watch Signs instead.
Yeah. But hey, thank you for joining us again for another episode. You can find us at Twitter at Buns Cinema. You can also find us on Blue Sky at Cinema Buns. We upload the podcast to the YouTube channel at the Cinema Buns Podcast. We are also setting up for other content soon. We also have some events that will be happening in the new year. So keep an eye out on our Twitter and stuff for those announcements. With that, I'm Ritter.
I'm Mike.
And I am also an alien trying to be Mike.
Now watch you post this in January.
Yep. Bye.
Just suck ass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch with us. We're Cinema Buns.